everybody. Welcome to the Wild and Wacky Wednesday. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to do that. It just happened. I swear I've only had like 2 sips of my tasty beverage that I made myself before Deb and I got together to have our little pre-party chat.
Pre-game.
How are you, friend? So you can share with the rest of the group since I already know.
I'm good. It's very warm in Arizona. I would say warm is being kind. It's very, very hot here, but it's, it's still very beautiful outside. So it looks like it's cooler than it is, and it's just not.
You just make it look cool because you're all like collected and put together. If I were you, I'd have like a tube top on and still look all sweaty and gross. I don't
know. I've thought about the whole baseball cap thing for these kinds of things, but yeah, it kind of gets in the way of the lights and everything. So yeah, can't do the cap.
Hi, Lori. Hello, everyone that's watching. If you are new here, I am Cassandra of Beads to Live By, and this is Deb of Deb Loves Jewelry, and she is so sweet to get together with us once in a while and share her incredible talent with us and her design ideas for all our beautiful bracelets and our beads. Ooh, so Lori says, loved your JJB camp bracelet and earrings, Deb.
Thank you, Lori. Lori must be a camper.
Hi, Sherry. Oh my goodness. Lots of familiar faces there. So I just dropped the link to Deb's Linktree, and that's just a fancy place where you can look and see all of the different areas, Instagram, Facebook, Etsy, that you can follow and support Deb. So make sure and check that out, guys. That's in the comments. Hi, Ellen. Speaking of Prague, we were just chatting about our trip, and Ellen is one of the fantastic friends that's joining us. Her and her hubby are going all the way to the Czech Republic with me. She's I would have to say anyone that's jumping on board like that, I would call into question their judgment a little bit, because I don't know if they really know what they're getting themselves into, but I'm sure we'll have fun.
I'm jealous. I would love to be going, and Ellen's going to have, is it Ellen's first time going to
on our trip? Yeah. I think Ellen's pretty well traveled, but it might be her first time in Prague. So I know they're going to have fun. Yeah. Right, Lori? Such an amazing time. I've been sharing with Deb all the plots of how we will manage to get all of the beads back to the U.S. because, like there's just going to be a lot of beads. So
it's a hard thing when I've only bought for myself when I used to travel to Tucson on a plane when I didn't live in Arizona. Just buying beads for myself and getting them home was hard. So I can't even imagine trying to get beads for a bead shop all the way back to the US. It would be kind of crazy.
I have to say that like when I opened Beads to Live By back in 2013, I drove to Chicago to meet with John. We knew each other. I used to work at another bead store, but this was the first time that we had interacted like since I got ready to open our business. And so that was a super fun trip. And my mom reminded me a couple of days ago, we were talking about that trip and the fact that like there was so much of like this reaching motion and then like bringing our arms back down and like pulling beads like this. I broke blood vessels under my arms from the amount of time and the amount of beads that we pulled that day. Is that I had totally forgotten about that. That's the most ridiculous thing I could possibly, like, you can't make that kind of thing up because it sounds so ridiculous, right?
But like it's stuff you wouldn't think of. Like, if you're, in your normal day-to-day bead life, you're not lifting big.
You reach for a bead here. You reach for a bead there. You don't like boom, boom, boom for hours on end.
Big bins and big hanks, and I would never have thought of that, but I'm sure that probably happens to a lot of people. And maybe even like you have shoulder pain or back pain or something from all the lifting and the movement of digging through all the delightful beads.
Yeah. So the other two memories I have from that experience are that partway through, it was like maybe about halfway through the time we had available to shop that day, because we drove there, shopped, and came back home, which it's like a 3.5-hour drive each direction. It was a long day. Thank you to my husband for driving us and taking care of that part of it. But the two other things I remember was about halfway through the shopping, I went up to John. I was like, so, this is my budget. I'm not necessarily only worried about that. I also kind of wondered if you like have any suggestions about things that like maybe you feel like you see missing from the assortment that we're pulling, or like any suggestions, whatever. He's been doing it a really long time. He has a lot of opinions about all this stuff. And I will never forget, John is like not always, he's very kind, but he's also can be very direct. And so
Yes.
I think he was trying really hard to think of a nice way to tell me that I was being too much of a bead snob, because he was like, you have a lot of like higher end things and you might want to pull more like the dollar strands, or I don't remember how he worded it, but it was something along those lines, like, take it down a couple notches, Cassandra.
I love it. I absolutely love it. He's a character. I love John.
I know. So then, like, when we're leaving, obviously it's not like I spent the most money that anyone has ever spent in his business, but like, I was buying for a brand new store. So I had like a chunk that I spent. He was very kind and very, like, acknowledged that. And he brought out this like little packet, and he unfolded this like tissue paper off of this, like pulled stuff out of this package. And it was a like the factory pack style. So for anyone that hasn't shopped for like crystals for like large volume, they come in like these really sturdy envelopes, or like even like boxes now with like little trays that are all separated in them. But this was a package of vintage crystals that were like, I don't know, probably like a 10 millimeter, and they were round, but because of the vintage like facet on them, they looked kind of like disco balls that were like elongated just a tiny bit. Like they weren't just like a standard whatever. And they were like silvery and had all sorts of rainbow colors on one side. And I mean, it was kind of like an AV vitriol sort of finish. Whatever it was, obviously it was old because it wasn't anything like I've ever seen before or since. And I just was like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing. He was like, I just wanted to thank you for, coming and shopping today, and congratulate you on opening your new store. And I was just like, you've done this before, haven't you? You know exactly how to get us like right in there. Hook, line, sinker. Yep.
Woo!
Exactly. So those are my like most memorable moments from that trip. And I had apparently blocked out all the bad stuff, like the fact that I had like broken blood vessels up and down my underarms.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the people that shop Beads to Live By, whether they shop in the store or online, are in for a treat, because I know what you let me in on some of your plans for what you're going to be shopping for. And so I know people are going to freak out when they see some of the things that they've never seen before, because no one else is going to have it. That's so exciting.
It does make me happy to be able to like taunt people with things that don't exist anywhere else. I want to say hi to some of our friends who are joining us, Xandra and Barbara. Welcome. Thank you for being here. For anyone who's wondering the loveliness that's sitting on my tray here, I realized that I needed to string this pendant up. So This is a design by Sheila, and I totally need to drop. Okay, I'm gonna like do crazy things with the camera for a minute because I need to drop the link for this pendant, but it's actually a bracelet design that she took these components and links them together, and it makes an adorable bracelet. But it excuse me, uses those triangles with the 2 holes that have been in the last couple of months of subscriptions. So I really wanted to kind of show that off, and I've got the stringing started finally because I just made this pendant last week and then kind of like set it aside to work on some other things. So this is from the August colors. The September subscriptions will be the last ones to go out to our current subscribers. And then in the middle of the month, and I will release the date soon, we will be doing an early registration for the 4th quarter, which would be October, November, and December. Because, and I'll post all this, I'm sure I've got to like work on all sorts of like marketing materials to, announce these things to you guys. But we will be releasing the October, November, and December subscriptions for registration mid-September because I need to order the seed beads in time to have them by the end of the month because I will be taking them with me to the Czech Republic to shop for your 2-hole beads. So anyone that's subscribing to the last quarter of the year of the Curated Collections is going to be the first people to get quite a few new 2-hole colors. And I was explaining to Deb a whole nother separate thing. There's going to be a little pre-order special. I have to come up with a good name for it. So I'm not going to like try to do that on the fly right now, but I'm going to have a little like special set of beads that people will be able to pre-order because we're going to get together with our designer friends in November and play with those beads. And then some of it will be things that no one else besides those who buy those pre-order sets will get. So there's going to be vintage goodies and like all sorts of, for Deb is going to have a fit over there. In a good way, in the best possible way. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work for me, and we're gonna be closed for a minute, and the website's gonna be like in kind of limbo for almost 2 weeks, but I promise it's gonna be so worth it. So I hope you guys can kind of hang in there with me through the travel part, and I will also make sure and share lots of fun pictures and videos and updates from our trip about all the delicious food we're eating, all the yummy wine we get to drink, and the good European coffees, and all the beads and all the fun. So if you guys can just bear with me through October, just like the first 2 weeks, then, I'll get back to like our regularly scheduled programming. But Deb, what are you working on tonight?
Well, I have some of my favorite color to work. You sent some beautiful oranges, and then there were these tiny little rondelles that are
yes.
just.
I have to go find that link for everybody again.
They're
That's
just
right.
So I just did, I mean, this is a very simple project, but just, kind of combined the 2-hole with some seed beads and then some of those Czech rondelles. And then I actually, while we were doing our pregame, was working on another version with a different bead shape. So I'll show that. It's a little wonky. Probably because I was talking and not 100% paying attention to what I was doing.
I was distracting her. She's trying to be nice, but I was distracting her.
So I'll show that, but I thought I would do like an earring design too that is similar. So using a 2-hole bead, a seed bead, and some of those lovely little Czech rondelles.
Yay! Well, I just dropped the link to those rondelles. There's 2 sets of colors. The pictures are terrible because they're from our live sale. So I'm pretty sure you can still go watch the videos from those live sales, which the link for those videos is at the top of the live sales page. You can easily navigate to that on our website. But yeah, I was just checking to make sure. But there's like a warm set and a cool set of those baby rondelles. And they're just like, you can stitch with them, you can string with them. If it were me, I'd be buying piles of them because it's the kind of thing that I can use anytime, any day, especially if I have like a good variety of colors. And these are like a lot of neutrals in those like warm and cool tones.
Yeah, they are great for spacers. I'm gonna flip and I'll show them so that people can get a look at how tiny they are, and then the ones that you sent me. So I'm gonna turn my camera off and I'm gonna flip.
Xandra's super excited and says, I love simple designs for everyday jewelry. That is beautiful.
That's great.
So already getting lots of good feedback on your beautiful bracelet. And I'm going to make you bigger and just there.
So here are these little babies. They are teeny tiny, but these are the orange ones, which orange is one of my favorite colors. I know I say everything is my favorite, but like I love orange. And
those would also make the cutest little baby pumpkins, you guys. Fall is right around the corner.
So these are great for spacers, for, you know, and what I did, and this is not perfect, but it's a fun design, and this is what I'm gonna we're gonna do, is I used them in between so these are Barbie, or are these bar or
those
brick?
are those are neither. Oh my goodness, I'm having a total blank here. Those are the I keep thinking Rizzo, and I know that is false. So give me 2 seconds. I just got to look back at my recent subscription that I haven't put those in the subscriptions in a hot second. I probably will revive those for like the end of this year and the beginning of next year for the subscribers, because one of the factories that we get to spend time in shopping has lots of those beads. It is a Matubo brand bead. So, I'm almost there. I know I had some in one of these. Rula, not Rizzo, Rula.
Okay,
so
Rula.
Rulla. That's a Rula bead.
Got it. Okay, so these are like a transparent orange, and then we've got these incredible 15 O's, which are these, and this color is so delicious.
One of your favorites.
I know. I love that one. And then combined with these little rondelles, I mean, this is like the perfect trio. And I actually have a shirt that is these colors, like literally these colors, and it's a longer sleeve shirt, so I didn't want to wear it tonight because I would sweat my brains out, but
no one's asking for that.
And you know, ain't nobody got time for that. So we but these colors are so dreamy. So I got these, and I just had to start making with that colorway. But then while we were chit-chatting, I started doing this.
Oh, that's so fun.
So also with the orange, but the little tile beads, which I'm a big tile bead fan. And then I don't know what color these seed beads are, but they are absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, that's a previous 15. So people can go. I did drop a link I searched the Rula beads on our website and then dropped a link for that search results. So you'll be able to use that link to like look at all the different colors we have. But if you go to our curated collections and then hit filters, you can actually filter for just the size 15 seed beads from the subscription beads, which I'm going to drop a link right now. So you guys can find the colors, all the colors that Deb is playing around with in the 15s as well.
And I just realized I was saying that I use the orange ones here. These were actually like a crystal ones. They're like a clear crystal. And then there's these.
That matte crystal is so much fun. I love
Love
the
those.
texture. Yeah. And that one looks just like a gemstone, that little like multi-variegated,
And this one,
like
delicious.
a lavender and opal or something. Lovely.
And then one more little bundle here. This reminds me of like a forest, like a forest somewhere.
Like an
Um,
enchanted forest, perhaps.
yes, a little bit like that. And there's also like a grayish tone and like a lavender, and then there's this one. Hello. And then this green is really, really, oops. This green is really lovely. It's like a jade green.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's another one that really to me emulates the gemstone colors nicely.
So I'm crazy about these because they seem so versatile and just so many ways that you can use them. So I used the crystal clear on this orange bracelet, and then this is the one I pulled out the orange for again because I love me some orange. So this is a little wonky, but you get the idea of, it's basically, I did 3 seed beads and then put the little rondelle on, and then go through the tile bead. So I think what I'm trying to decide, I could go with this combination for an earring, but I have another 2-hole bead that I love the idea of earrings for, and it's these little pyramid guys.
Oh, I do love a pyramid anywhere, but on an earring is extra fun.
So I think I'm going to choose these guys. So I'm going to set this work in progress off to the side. And I think this one, I also want to use this color, this orangey peachy color. And then I think I want to pull in a different color of these rondelles. And I think this one is the one that's calling my name, that jade.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Oh, Lori says that she's loving the pyramid beads also. Yeah, those colors look so good together. You have such a good eye, Deb.
I love, well, I mean, you did the work. You sent all this stuff that together.
Well,
So
so here's what happened, guys. Deb went and did some shopping during the live sale, which I so appreciate, but I always feel guilty because she's like also sharing all these fun ideas with us on a regular basis. So John and I stuck some extra things in her package, and she ordered like one set of colors of the rondelles. So I just put the whole other set in there, and then shoved a bunch of the curated beads that go with both of them in there. Like, oh, do you like those beads? Here's a bunch more.
here you go. Take them all.
Oh.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun package to open. And I really thought that live sale had some really great things in it. I mean,
Oh
you know,
man, it was a long, I think I was telling somebody this week that I think John was here for 6 days, which I mean, we've gone months and months without getting to see each other, so we were really grateful to have some time. But then it was like I dropped him off at the airport on a Tuesday and I closed the store. Like I had planned out the week before. I was like, I'm gonna be tired on Wednesday, like dead, exhausted, tired. And I landed home from like, it's about an hour drive either direction to the airport from here. And I got home and I shoved this like ungodly amount of shawarma in my face because I stopped at like my favorite Mediterranean restaurant on the way home and got takeout. And then I don't feel like I moved from like the couch very far for a good 24 hours.
well, I mean, it's a lot to do something live, A, and then B, to do a live sale and to have things that maybe are not always showing, and then have someone with you. Like, So it's a lot. And
And
you
we
did,
did 3 days in a row.
yes, and you did multiples of that.
And my store was still open for the first day of the sale and all of the prep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was just like partway through, I was like, what was I thinking? But it was really good. I was so grateful to see so many people having fun with the sales. Like we did some deals, and those beads are still like up on sale on the website. So if you missed those sales, like I told you, I'll just post the main page for those, because then at the top of this link that I'm dropping right now, at the top of this page, you can see links to all 3 of the videos from those sales. So like I said, some of these pictures are really awful because we were just like going through and showing them all on camera during the lives. But if you go back and watch the videos, you can kind of see all the details of like what, and honestly, like the videos are so worth watching, even if you watch one just out of curiosity, because John has decades and decades of experience in the industry, and not just experience, but like going to the Czech Republic, to Bali, to China, and seeing the manufacturing on these beads, and knowing like all of the like history of the colors and the way that they produce the glass and why. And I just can't get over every time I'm with him and like hear him talk about this stuff. I'm like, you are just like, he is like a little museum of beads in himself.
I was going to say encyclopedia or, Wikipedia of beads.
Yes.
He's one of the
All
masters. And I remember when I made, so you had sent me a while back some incredible, like chunky Czech beads. And I did a YouTube video and I made a couple of necklaces, which are probably 2 of my favorite necklaces I've made. And
Aww.
he like messaged me and said, those beads are like blah blah blah. I mean, he had all this like information about those beads, and I'm like, wow, like I never would have known, because he had all this info. It was so fantastic. Just like the little history of the beads. It was so cool.
Now, I want to know, did he send you a message like he saw you post your jewelry and then unsolicited sent you the message telling you about the beads?
Yeah.
That is so flippin' hilarious. And if anybody needed to know John's personality, it's like that story in a nutshell explains John.
I just met John in person in Tucson this year, and I knew of him. I had seen him on on the socials.
You knew the folklore.
Yeah, I mean I knew him, but I didn't know him, and so it was so nice to meet him, and we did get to hang out a little bit. And I just felt, oh man, I just pulled my thread through. Anyways, it was so nice to meet him and really, just kind of get his, his knowledge, like, in person. I mean, he's a wealth of knowledge, and it's inspiring to meet somebody who has been around the block, knows his stuff, and he's a great resource to have.
For sure.
If you need something, got some rando question about beads, he could probably help.
Aw, well, I'm so glad you guys have been able to meet in person, because it's one of those things where like, you talk of someone or like, someone online, but it's not always the same as getting to like hang out. That's the dream. Someday you and I will actually meet in person, right, Deb?
I feel like we have, but we haven't,
I know. It's just crazy.
It should happen, and we've just got to figure a way to do it.
Yes. And I'm grateful. I'm still grateful for like, even if it takes us years, I'm grateful for like the luxury of the internet and being able to like spend time together this way. Because I've met so many wonderful people that I consider to be good friends like this too.
I know. It's been magical. I mean, I think people, people were connecting before COVID, but really COVID in some ways helped us get to this point
Yes,
because we all had to kind of connect that way. And so that was a time where I connected with people that, I didn't know, had never really, talked to in person, and got to know a lot of people that way. And it was really fun.
for sure. Obviously COVID was a horrible, tough time for a lot of people, including all of us, but I'm grateful for the good things that came out of it, like good friendships like this. So
Yes, amen. So yes. So what I'm doing here, I'm probably not close enough for you to see it, but I'm just doing that same pattern as the bracelet. So I'm coming in, going through one of the holes on the 2-hole bead and adding 3 seed beads, adding a rondelle, and now I'm going up the other side. And this is the hard part for me. So I was telling Cassandra, I still consider myself a newbie, with any kind of needle and thread type project. So for me, I don't know how to troubleshoot all of the potential issues, but my bracelet's really wonky, and I know why. Because I wasn't really taking the time to sort of make sure the thread is going through nicely and cleanly, and it's not getting twisted up as I go through. So this earring is a smaller version of the bracelet, and I really like everything's kind of coming together nicely there. So
I wonder, even with the bracelet, now that I see you make like a shorter version and an earring, if you could like do just like instead of stringing one whole side of the bracelet, if you could go through and do it sort of like you're doing the earring, where you would do like 1 or 2 sections and then work up the other side and then come back down and
kind
add
of
more.
kind of go around,
It might help your
reinforce.
tension. Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually a great idea. See,
But
that's
you were the one that gave it to me, technically. So you just didn't realize it.
Well, it's like I feel like I can troubleshoot a lot of jewelry making stuff, but again, like I'm still somewhat of a beginner, so I feel like I can't come up with a lot of the troubleshooting on my own necessarily yet. So, but I like how this looks as an earring.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I ended up, when I was putting it together, pulling off the end. So I just need to I'm adding more seed beads up top because I'm going to attach an ear wire to the seed beads up top. So I think I had 7 on there. And I probably should have used darker thread so you could actually see what I'm doing. But most of you guys know the seed bead gig. So let's see, 1, 2, that's 6. So then 7. So I'm going to go back down, and I need to go through all the beads. Now, what I also found making the bracelet was it's very easy to skip a bead.
Especially with those little 15s. Word to the wise.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna very carefully try to get through. I want to try and get through as many as I can, but I want to be very careful not to skip a bead, because I did that while we were talking too. I skipped, like before the live, I skipped a bead a few times. So it's okay, because if you notice it in time, you can pull your needle off and correct that.
Yeah.
So most of the time you can correct your issues. Most
And
of the
I
time.
love this idea for an earring design because you could wear it just as is. You could drop a bead with a head pin off the one end that dangles. You could use like a dagger or a drop bead to hang off the bottom of the last pyramid. There's all sorts of fun ways you could utilize this component.
Yeah. I think I'm always so intrigued by two-hole beads. I've done a number of projects this week using two-hole beads, but larger two-hole beads. But
Oh yeah, I saw your bracelet with those fun, like it looks like a beam almost, but I know it's just the two holes.
Yeah, they were so it's something I was going to actually ask John about because I had never seen these two-hole beads, and they're like a 15 by 5 millimeter.
Oh wow.
And so they're kind of like a bar bead, but bigger.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like we might have one or two. If we don't have them listed on the website, it's like they exist somewhere in the vast depths of my basement.
Well, maybe you could, next time
Rummage
you're down
around a
there,
little bit.
next time you're down there, take a look around.
Yes.
But I absolutely fell in love with them. So, and I had posted I posted the picture, and I had also just done the Jesse James Beads summer camp where I used two-hole beads. And someone posted on my picture that I did yesterday, you really do love two-hole beads. I'm like, I sure do.
You should have responded to them and said, like, I'm trying to get Cassandra to stop sending them to me, but she keeps sending them.
I really do love them. I'm a big like sliders fan too. So I've done a lot of repurposing of like previously loved jewelry. And
Ah,
so like, you've got that stretchy bracelet with some like two-hole or actually there were like four-hole components. And I love working with those too. I've made some really cool stuff with two-hole beads.
yes, you have.
In fact, I'm going to be in a magazine with one of my designs. I think it's coming in September.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Which, are you allowed to say which publication yet?
Yeah, it's Belle et Moi
Oh,
jewelry. One of
that
the
has been such a classic, like, stronghold through my entire beading career. That makes my heart happy.
there's not many magazines left.
No.
So they published a couple other designs that I did, same concept, earlier this year, and they sent everything back, and I'm like, cool, but they didn't take all of them. Like I think I sent them like 4 or 5 things. And so randomly I get the email from them, hey, we're gonna publish this one. And I'm like, oh, it was a complete surprise. Like, oh, okay.
Aw.
I was not expecting that. So that was super fun to get that email.
That's so exciting. Your aesthetic totally fits their vibe. They have such a nice range of well thought out jewelry. It always is like really fun to look through their magazines.
Oh yeah. I purged a bunch of my magazines earlier this year too. They were just taking up so much space. And what I did before I got rid of them was I literally went through every single one of them and looked at everything again, just kind of one last look, because there's so much talent that goes through that magazine. So it was like, over the course of a few days when I would get my coffee in the morning, I'd pull out a stack and I'd flip through and just drool over some of the amazing stuff in there.
Lori says, congrats, Deb. That is exciting.
Oh, thanks. I've been published a number of times, and I really hadn't pursued it for a while. And earlier this year, I had those bracelets in my hand, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there and see if it
Send
sticks.
these in.
See what happens. And
Yay.
so it made my heart sing. It was nice to have that happen. Ooh, I just got myself tangled up.
Oh no.
Almost almost at the end here. It's what happened is I skipped a bead,
Oh.
but it's okay because I can fix it. So this is what this is looking like.
So cute.
It's way cuter than I had pictured in my mind.
You're so ridiculous. It's way cuter than I expected.
I'm like, when I was getting ready to do this, I'm like, okay, I got to come up with something here. And I'm like, all right, this might be kind of lame. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. You are so funny.
But oh darn it. I really like it though. I think it's it's the little rondelles that make it. Like it's the little spacer rondelles. These are really a great, I mean, this is the kind of bead literally I would get every color if I was anybody watching this. I would be picking up all the colors because they're great for everything. And you could just use them in a stringing design too. Like just, string them up on a bracelet, do a tiny bead bracelet. I like to call them tiny beads where
tiny bead bracelet.
You just do like the tiny beads and maybe add like a single charm, or maybe you've got a metal bead as your like kind of focal bead, maybe a little.
Ooh, like a little textured. There were some cool metal bead strands in those live sales.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jenny. Welcome. So I don't want to call anybody out, but Xandra, somebody might have already bought all the colors of the tiny rondelles. So congratulations, Xandra. I will make sure and get those in the mail to you right away.
Well, she's going to love them because they are the cutest beads. And again, like just so versatile, just so incredibly versatile. So, yeah. So I am loving this as an earring. I love it more than the bracelet, to be honest.
It's fun how those things work sometimes. But, you might, like, if you go back through and adjust the stitching that you do, if you decide to do a bracelet that way, like, you might find that the I think my hunch is that you're not loving the bracelets anymore because you feel like there's wonkiness that you don't want. But
yeah, that's exactly it.
I'm like, I have a hunch if I know you at all, and I feel like I do.
Exactly it. So I think I'm going to end here at the bottom, and I'm just going to get through that thread bridge, hopefully.
Oh, this is too funny. Jenny said she was watching Becky's unboxing of the latest Curated Collections and lost track of time. I didn't realize that was happening. I would have adjusted this video if I had known she was doing that at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
Becky. So much beads to live by everywhere.
Well, hey, that's not a bad thing.
No, it makes my heart super happy. So
my super janky end of this thread burner. I think I need to replace the tip on my thread burner.
I don't feel like it's you. I think it's just thread burners are such fussy little creatures, in my opinion.
They really are. This one, I love it, but I also have had a lot of problems with it. Like it is a challenge. So I need to trim off. I'm just going to trim off my tail. That's another thing that being somewhat of a newbie, I never seem to leave enough of a tail to actually go back through and reinforce the tail. I mean, sometimes I get lucky and and I do, but that's another thing I need to be more practiced at. And so, oh my goodness, that is
Look
just
how you know what? Those colors are just so lovely, Deb. I really am enjoying that like peach with like the like stone green colors and the light and the dark contrast. It's all really nice.
I think I have my ear wires on the floor.
Lori, oh no, her package is in USPS purgatory right now.
Oh,
So
that's
sad.
yeah.
I guess though, I think I shipped those. I want to say it was I guess maybe it was on the 15th. But it hasn't been terribly long for it being like ground shipping. So fingers crossed that gets to you tomorrow, like they say, Lori. I do love at least the tracking feature allows people to keep an eye on it because I can't even imagine if I was sending out all this mail these days and people didn't get those tracking notifications. It would be like constant messages like, do you know where my beads are? I'd have to be like, no, but I can find them.
Where the heck are my beads?
I know. Oh, Lori and Jenny both say that they love the project and the tracking.
It's so cute.
Look at that perfect little ear wire. Yes, everything. Love it.
So I think I need to do that with these. So once I fix the wonkiness of my bracelet, but like that's the thing. So check this out. So if you want a completely different look, so you can take these and take this color, which I was using for the bracelet, and then like grab this color.
Oh, yes.
So that's a cool combination right there. And then you completely change the look by, let me grab this one. So then you could do this one too. This would be cool.
Oh, yeah. For something
So
a little jazzier.
Get a little sparkle going there.
Yeah.
And then like pull out the rulas again. So get these guys. And then pull out, what did I do with it? Here it is, those. And then like even the pink, this pinkish color would look really interesting with this.
Yeah. How fun. I think what Deb is really demonstrating, you guys, is that if you have both sets of those rondelles, you can use them with anything else.
100%.
I feel like, honestly, like I do just cheese it up sometimes because sometimes when I'm on these videos, I feel like what are those? Back when selling things on TV was like not a full-time thing, like the little infomercial things for like any random products. I feel like one of those people.
Well, you got to promote your stuff.
I know. It's just hard because I just want to play with the beads. I don't want to sell them.
And by the way, I used just the tiniest of
a little magnet.
Which I was always told, don't use magnets for seed bead bracelets because you could literally pull it all off. So what I always tell people is hold the clasp, not the bracelet. So, open it up with the clasp part, not with the bracelet. But
well, that's great advice for, I think, any magnet or any bracelet configuration. But I also think part of the thing that people would be it's not so much the magnet itself, it's like the connection point. So the rings that you're using, if they're open, you just have to be really vigilant about tight connections with your seed bead stitching in the parts that go through the rings at the clasp part.
Yeah.
Jenny's like, but wait, there's more. Just like a TV sales personality. Jenny, thank you for acknowledging. Like, I couldn't tell if I was really conveying what I was trying to explain. So you have confirmed that at least you understand what I was talking about.
Well, I think
Deb, it's fantastic.
I think that concludes my instructional portion of the show today, even though these are not hard to make, but what a fun little project. Pick yourself some 2-hole beads, some seed beads, and I used 15s because I love 15s, but you could do 11 O's here too, and then the rondelles. And you've got so many possibilities of how you can put these together. I know if anybody has has a subscription, they've got enough beads to make a ton of these bracelets or these earrings. So
yeah, I was digging around because I made myself some earrings last week with this collection, and I was just like, I know they're over here somewhere, but these are from the entirety of the August collection. So every last bead in these earrings is from this last subscription.
Love those.
I know. And I used wire. I cheated because I wanted a stiff construction through there. I used 24 gauge. So I can do a little video for people sometime if you guys, I kind of want to do it with another collection now, like different sets of colors, just because I think it'd be fun. But I saw something similar on Pinterest and just kind of like played a riff off of that. Sometimes I'm too like symmetrical with my designs. And this one was like me trying to really hard to get out of my box of being symmetrical. But this is all like the pressed bundle and then the 2-hole and the seed beads. And there's some fire polish like sprinkled in there, like those guys there. So speaking of those pyramids on an earring.
I think the pyramid, I think they were really popular for a while. And I think people now might think, oh, I don't know about the pyramids, but I still love them so much. And they add such an interesting vibe. I'm all about the shapes, and I love that shape. And I also love like anything Egyptian. So anything that's even remotely like Egypt.
Yeah.
The pyramid. I mean.
And also stabby.
Stabby.
Oh.
I love it.
Oh, you guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Deb, do you have anything? You said you have a video next week. Do you have anything between now and then?
My next video is Sunday night, doing a Sunday night edition at Art Beads. I've got some really fun beads I'm going to be working with on Sunday. Hopefully they get here.
That's great.
And then I have my normal show Monday morning. And then I'll be doing a show on Tuesday morning for beadaholic.com. So
you're a busy lady. Holy cow.
Yeah, but I've got some fun stuff planned. I love all 3 of the shows, everything I've got planned for those 3. I did some planning today, kind of organizing all of the things and putting the piles of things together. So I am really excited about those shows. So if anybody wants to come join, that would be super fun. If someone
remember that link tree link. Hold on, I got it. I'm going to grab it one more time for you guys. Ellen said, thank you for sharing your creativity. We all feel like that. But the link I just dropped is where you can go and make sure that you're subscribing and following and liking all the things from Deb so that you can keep up with all her fun projects, because she is all over the place, as you just heard. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm glad you're taking like one day off between now and then. Holy cow.
Well, then I have a little vacation, a little family vacation, going to see my family for a few days. So that will force me to take some time and take a little bit of a breather, which everybody needs every now and again. Although I will long for my beads while I'm away.
Are you not going to pack like a teeny tiny little, like a little baby travel bead kit? Nope.
When I travel, I usually don't
Put the
travel
beads down.
unless I go. I mean, I usually bring stuff to Tucson with me, even though I almost never use it. I usually bring stuff because there's so much inspiration around you all the time there that I feel like I got to do something when I get back to the room. But I'm almost always like, zonked out at the end of every one of those days. So, yeah, but I don't travel with beads.
Okay. I learn something new every day. You've earned a break from them for sure. So no judgment.
But I do miss them. I mean, I do think about it. Like I bring a sketchbook with me. So if I do come up with a thought or an idea for a show
Yeah.
or for a video or for just a fun project, I do bring a sketchbook. And that's something like if folks are like me and you can't stop thinking about creating, like, have a little sketchbook. Like if you're at work, you can just like, sketch
Yeah.
something really quickly so you don't forget about that fun idea that you have.
I've sent myself messages on Facebook Messenger, like to myself with like, and a belly bracelet, use 2 millimeter, blah, blah, blah. Because like, if you have the thought and you don't like do something with it, you'll, forget about it easily.
Yes, I've been known to get up out of bed to go write it down when I think of something as I'm falling asleep. And my husband's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I had an idea. I gotta go write it down
Beads,
before I
the
forget.
beads are calling me. I'll be back.
I'll be right back.
When you said something about you'll like think of them or long for them, I could just picture you over there like covering their little ears, like, oh, don't worry, I'll miss you. Don't listen to. I'll be back soon.
I'll miss you. I'll miss you while I'm away.
I know. Oh my goodness. Xandra says, I'm so glad you guys do this bead party. It makes my evening. Thank you. Aw, that makes our evening, Xandra. Thank
Yeah.
you for watching and shopping and all the things. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. Deb, I will long for and miss you, but till we meet again.
Yes, yes. We will meet again after you go on your trip and you'll have all kinds of fun stories.
All right, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.